Chef Cheyne here, and I want to talk to you a little bit about becoming a chef. Becoming a chef is easy, except it's really hard. There's pretty much 3 ways to become a chef. 1, you can go to cooking school. I'll talk about that in a minute. 2, you can get an apprenticeship. Or 3, you can just work your way up in restaurants. Let's talk about cooking school. Boulder has a cooking school. There's cooking schools all over. Denver has one called Johnson and Wales. Probably the most famous one in America is called the Culinary Institute of America, CIA, where I attended. Cooking schools can be 2 years, where you get a 2-year degree just in cooking. They call that an associate's degree. Or you get a 4-year degree. So that's 2 years of cooking and 2 years of business. Normally in a cooking school, you have to go out into the real world and cook for like upwards of a year to get accreditation. Cooking schools are quite expensive, and when you come out of a cooking school, you are not a chef. You are a kid who went to cooking school. Which brings me to the next point, working your way up. So when you come out of cooking school, you have to work your way up in restaurants. What does that mean? It means you got to start maybe as a dishwasher, maybe as a salad cook, maybe you start at Chipotle, or maybe you start at Qdoba, which would be a better choice, much tastier. You have to start kind of at low-level restaurants where you do low-level work. And then you work up in complexity. My personal history is I started off actually in an Italian restaurant briefly. Then I went to a pizza restaurant, another pizza restaurant, then a Mexican restaurant. Each restaurant, you get more advanced. So after about 7 or 8 restaurants, I started to get into like pretty advanced cuisine. Eventually, I got to a country club where I did a 1-year apprenticeship. So I worked up from crappy restaurants to better, better, better. And every restaurant you work at, you learn all the skills, and you should remember it all. That's a real chef can cook everything from memory right now, no recipe. The third way, so I talked, that's how you work your way up. The third way is an apprenticeship. Often apprenticeships happen at country clubs or on ocean liners, more at country clubs. I was fortunate in 1984 to work at a country club in Denver with a French/Basque chef named Cruz Imaz, and he was mean, mean, mean. And I followed him around for a year and learned. So that was sort of my apprenticeship. One chef taught me so much. You can actually get a formal apprenticeship. There's various culinary federations that teach you. The bottom line is 3 ways to become a chef: work your way up, or go to cooking school and then work your way up, or get an apprenticeship. An apprenticeship, you often have to already work your way up a little bit. And that's how to become a chef. Any questions? Woo! Any questions? Good, we got a question. Go ahead.
If you started your own restaurant, would you already be the main chef?
Yeah, if you started your own restaurant, you would fail.
Okay.
You wouldn't personally, but a person who starts a restaurant thinking they can run a restaurant because they like to cook at home will absolutely 100% every single 1,000,000% time fail.
Oh, okay.
Because the difference between a chef and a person who wants to run a restaurant is $1 million lost. Guaranteed.
Then how would you start your own restaurant?
You work your way up, get some money, you work your way up, you're a chef, then you start your restaurant. Or you ask your dad, and then he loses $1 million.
Oh, that's exactly what.
All right, guys, love y'all.
Love you too.